Well, hello there. How's everyone doing? Pretty good, I hope. Now today, we were supposed to take the Rally Miata to the dunes. However, the morning we were supposed to leave, the bus didn't start. Ooh, nothing. Tried jumping it, didn't work. Turns out the starter was fried, so I replaced the starter and now it runs. I'm having a baby!
Ugly one.
This is the newest looking part on the entire engine.
What about the spark plugs?
Haha. Good meme.
I wasn't trying to meme, I was actually asking.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You know it doesn't have spark plugs, right? Diesels don't have spark plugs. Pasha, I thought you were joking. What about the spark plugs?
God damn it. I should have just not said anything. I should have just went with it.
Unfortunately, that took a couple hours. By the time the bus was running, we didn't have time to go to the dunes anymore. We're going to the dunes to redeem ourselves as soon as we can. But it was more important to get the bus running and ready for this weekend with a drift event in the truck than it was to just send it and drive the Rally Miata by itself down to the dune. But we do get to work on the dad son today. One of you guys came up with that brilliant pun and it was awesome. But yeah, we got a bunch of parts for this thing: suspension, brakes, brake pads, rotors. If you remember the last video with this car, you remember that the suspension is really shot. Right now, it actually doesn't have any shocks. That was cringy. So we have upgraded springs to install, and we got some nice stiff KYB shocks. Oh, we also got new wheels and tires for this thing, which look awesome, but I'm not gonna show you that in this video. That'll be for the next video. See, this is the best part about working on cars, Dad. It's like a little mini Christmas every time.
Sure is.
We got the springs. Wow. So those are the front springs.
Heavy duty stuff.
Yeah, you should feel the rear springs that are laying over there.
Sick. The new shocks. Sweet.
Nice.
Whoa.
That's pretty good.
Just lost.
I have no idea if this is the front or rear, but I guess we'll find out. Nice. I've worked on a decent amount of cars, and this is just kind of weird considering it's so old. I'm not used to, it's like kind of the way they set the suspension up is kind of, it's strange. But I think what we're just gonna do is drop the lower control arm off, then we can get the spring out and we can put the new shock and spring in. The shock actually goes in the middle of the spring, kind of like a coilover, but they are separate. So this is like the top mount for the shock and then the bottom mount's down there. I haven't looked at the rear axle yet, how we're gonna do that, but we'll figure that out in the future. All right, go ahead. There we go. That's one.
We could reach it over here. See the spring coming.
Yep, there we go.
Nice.
No one died, and it's
So cool. Oh, there you go.
Boom. Spring is out. So see how much shorter the new one is? You can tell it's stiffer because there are more like actual coils. See how there's a bigger gap? But it's shorter, so it will probably ride about at the same height, but it will be much stiffer. Dad spent some time with the wire brush cleaning up the stock bolts. Little details that count. I need to tighten everything up, but it's in. Ah!
You get to be a contortionist.
Yeah, I just wanna, I'm trying to get my head out of the camera. So now that the front is done, we're moving on to the rear. We have new leaf springs that have a higher spring rate, and then we have shocks. Whew, well, that was kind of a pain in the butt, but the new springs are in. My dad had to leave to go to work, so that's why he's not here, but he did help quite a bit with this. We ended up bungee cording the axle to the frame while we were messing with the springs. We didn't feel like dropping the axle, and we didn't feel like leaving it on the trans stand because it wouldn't have been stable enough, so bungee cords. Now it's time to install the shocks in the rear, and then we can drop it down. I'm excited to see how stiff and not bouncy it is, because it was bad before, so it's gonna be good. Oh my God. The shocks are certainly stiff enough, let's put it that way, because dang, those things were hard to compress. Is a 1/4 inch lower, so really not much lower, but the main important thing about this is not that it's lower, but is that A, there's nice shocks, and B, there's nice stiffer springs. You remember the rear used to be really bouncy, and now that's rock salad. Solid salad. It's rock salad. It's no stance nation, but that's good. We're not stance nationing our 60-year-old beautiful Datsun. Real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and torque down those rear bushings, and then that's it for me today. I'm assuming part of the reason why it doesn't look much lower is because previously to this, it didn't have any shocks in there. And I'm sure these shocks are actually holding the car up a little bit. So if it had shocks beforehand, it would have been taller, and thus it would have looked lower now, but it's all good. Right, so that's it. The Datsun is no longer a boaty piece of poop. I mean, back here, super stiff. Up front, now that I pumped the tire up, is really stiff as well. Brand new suspension. I'm really, really excited to drive this thing. It's gonna be so fun to throw around. The next step is to get this thing running and driving. In order to do that, we need to install the custom drive shaft that will be getting made. That might take a couple weeks though, so that sucks. Gotta install some seats so we can sit. Gotta install the new wheels and tires, the brakes, and we have to make new brake lines for the rear, because right now there's only front brake lines. So yeah, once all that is done, it'll be running and driving. Then we clean it up, we paint it, and yada, yada, yada. But that's it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, please give it a like. If you didn't, please give it a dislike. I am loving this build. I'm having a blast working with my dad, so that's awesome. Now we have to focus on getting the truck ready for this weekend, because it's still open diff, doesn't have a hydro, doesn't have harnesses, doesn't have a bunch of stuff, and the drift event is in 4 days. But I'll see you guys next time. Peace out and goodbye.